In 1992, Angela Michelle Lawless was found dead in her car. The prosecution said Josh Keezer was the murderer, and the jury agreed. Josh spent 16 years in prison for that crime, even though he was completely innocent.
On 2 occasions, I prayed for death. Not because I was hopeless, but because I'd gotten tired. I didn't want to wake up another day in prison.
Josh Keezer spent 16 years in prison for a murder he didn't commit.
I was convicted without DNA, blood type, fingerprint, palm print, weapon, a paper trail, any connection to the victim, and any legitimate motive presented in my trial.
False testimony from jailhouse snitches looking for lighter sentences, and a fabricated testimony from a friend of the murdered girl were enough to convince a jury Josh was the killer.
Dealing with the conflict in my own heart about the lies that were told about me has been like a long wrestling match with God and with the world and with myself. I feel like I'm still in that match. Like it's never ended. I have to focus on God's narrative of my life more than the other narratives. And what he says about me, who I am in the eyes of my Father in heaven, who I am in Christ.
Before his trial, Josh surrendered his life to Christ. His spiritual renewal was the one thing that carried him through the years of injustice during his time behind bars.
The Lord took the anger out of my heart, but that taking required surrender on my part. It required me handing that over to the Lord, and then he took it from me.
Josh also wrestled with the decision to forgive those responsible for his incarceration.
To really be free in prison for a crime you didn't commit, you have to address forgiveness. When Christ forgives me, he restores me. I'm given a plan and a purpose and an opportunity to start over every day. Forgiveness is meant to be a gift. Do we give that gift that God gave us, or do we hold on to our anger and our rage? It's willing to hand your enemies, to gift to your enemies something that Christ gave us. And I took it into my prayer closet and I wrestled with God and I allowed him to do whatever he had to do in my life to let that go or to take it from me so that I can show these men the love of Christ.
While being set free from anger and unforgiveness, he would eventually be set free physically. At a new hearing, Josh was given an actual innocence ruling that went beyond not guilty. He was set free, redeemed.
Even in the darkest, most horrific, evil prisons, God can reach down and he can change a man and he can use him. He changes us. The old man, the old Josh has passed away. The new man is alive in Christ.
In the book he co-wrote with his lawyer, The Murder of Angela Michelle Lawless, An Honest Sheriff and the Exoneration of an Innocent Man, Josh hopes the power of God demonstrated in his life points others to Christ.
As angry as I might feel in my lower moments, it's in those God moments that I'm sharing with other people that I'm thankful for my life, that I'm thankful for my past and the trials and the difficulties that I went through. And it's from that desolation and destruction that God made me the man that I am. This story offered me an opportunity and offers me an opportunity to share Christ in a much more powerful and wider range than I could ever have imagined or dreamed. In a case that has so much darkness, it's the only light that shines. It's the forgiveness of Christ that he's demonstrated through me for others. just so want people to know Jesus, man. That's it. That's it. There's nothing that God can't change and redeem. And that he does that through the crucifixion and the resurrection of his son, Jesus Christ.
This is a story about surrender, redemption, forgiveness. You can find out more about Josh's story in the book he co-wrote with his lawyer. It's called The Murder of Angela Michelle Lawless, an Honest Sheriff, and the Exoneration of an Innocent Man, and it's available nationwide.